Out for you this morning, we are continuing to track the unemployment fraud being seen here in southern Colorado and its impact that it's had on the entire system. Our Patrick Nelson has been on this from the start, joining us live with what's happening to try to get this under control. Patrick.
Good morning. Last week, I told you that the Colorado Department of Labor and Employment was tripling the number of investigators it was hiring. Well, now Colorado's Attorney General is assembling a task force of his own, bringing together top state and federal investigators to join with local district attorneys to try to track down these unemployment fraudsters. Now, back at the start of the year, I filed my first report on this widespread unemployment fraud we were experiencing here in Colorado. As I found out, many of our viewers got mail with unemployment benefit debit cards and PIN numbers they never applied for. Investigators reported these pieces of mail were being sent to areas where it could be easily stolen and drained. These bank cards loaded with state dollars were even stacking up at businesses with names employers had never heard of. This left many people scrambling to report this fraud, having never been the target of identity theft before.
Identity theft means that you could lose your credit score that you've been working hard to raise. Identity theft means that you could have regular Social Security money that just suddenly stops. And it also means that years later, when your kids apply for student loans, there's extra paperwork involved. Forms get complicated, customer service takes longer, everything gets harder.
Targets of the unemployment fraud then started getting tax forms asking them to pay taxes on the unemployment money collected in their name. All of this confusion caused Colorado's unemployment system to be so overwhelmed, people who needed benefits couldn't get through to get the help they needed. After all this, now Colorado's Attorney General is putting forward a task force of top legal and law enforcement minds to aggressively go after fraudsters domestically and abroad.
And if we can find people, say someone picking up unemployment insurance benefits that don't belong to them as part of whether it's an organized criminal activity, whether it's a one-off activity, we will get to the bottom of it and we'll work to bring people to justice. Preying on people during a pandemic, it's atrocious.
The Colorado Department of Labor and Employment has important forms to report fraud and to report tax forms that are tied to this unemployment fraud. You can find all of these resources right now on our website, KOAA.com. And straight ahead, we're going to actually hear from another member of this task force that lives and works right here in southern Colorado. 3rd Judicial District DA Henry Solano will join us. We'll have some information from him coming up in just a bit. Always watching out for you, Southern Colorado. Patrick Nelson, News 5.